Welcome back to Mishna Study, where we're discussing right now Rambam's introduction to Perek Helek. We'll continue. ואומנם היהודים הטובים והרעים הנזכרים בתורה, the good and bad punishments and rewards and punishments that are mentioned in the Torah, כוונם מה שאספר לך. The intention is what I'll explain to you now. וזהו, שהוא אומר לך, tells you, אם תקיים אלו המצוות, if you perform the mitzvot, אסייעך על קיומן והשלמות בהן. We had mentioned this earlier, and he says this in the Mishna Torah Chot, and now he's going to say it here. The idea of if you keep the mitzvot, I will aid you in their performance, and you're completing them and perfecting them. And I will remove from you the things, the stumbling blocks in front of you that can prevent you from performing the mitzvot. Person cannot perform the mitzvot when he is ill, or hungry or thirsty, and not in times of war. God will help us with the removal of these situations. We'll be healthy. So we'll be able to perfect our knowledge of Hashem. And that will get us to Olam Haba. Right? This is not the ultimate, that the land will be plenty and we will live a long life and we'll be healthy. That's not the ultimate reward. Right? These are things that will help us perform the more mitzvot. So by doing the mitzvot, Hashem will give us these things so that it will enable us to perform more mitzvot. And if we violate the mitzvot, so these things that prevent us from keeping the mitzvot will come back against us. That we can no longer do good. Because you have not worshipped God. If you perform these mitzvot with happiness and great diligence, I will continue to help you to perform these mitzvot and remove anything that will prevent you from doing it. However, if you ignore these mitzvot, then I'll bring on you things that will prevent you from doing any of the mitzvot. You will not have perfection or existence. This is the way Rambam interprets the concept of schar mitzvah mitzvah and schar avera avera, meaning the reward of the mitzvah will be the ability to perform more mitzvot, and the punishment of the avera will be falling and stumbling into further avera. Ve'omnam. Now he's explaining, going back to some of the areas that people believe were the ultimate rewards. Ve'omnam Gan Eden hu makom dashen mikadur haaretz. Gan Eden is a place that is a place in this earth. It is a physical place. Rav hamayim va'ilanot. There's great waters and trees. Yigaleu Hashem lebnei adam latid level. It will be revealed to people in the future. V'yorem haderech elav. They'll show us how. He will show us how to get there. V'yanu bo. We'll benefit from it. V'ulai yimtzu bo smachim niflaim meod. Great vegetative life. Rabbat to'elet. Will have benefits, maybe health benefits, v'arvut, and tasteful benefits. Zulat ele hamefursamim etzlenu. Ve'omnam gan va'eden harei makom dashen mikadur haaretz. Right? The places of Gan and Eden are places that are plentiful places on the physical earth. Rav hamayim v'ha'ilanot, waters and trees. Yigaliyahu Hashem l'bnei adam la'atid lavo. Hashem will reveal it to people in the future. V'yorem ha'derech elav, and show us the way to it. V'yehanu bo, we'll enjoy it. V'ulai yimatzu bo smachim niflal'im me'od rabbeha to'elet v'arevut. Maybe that we will then find vegetative life that is great, that will have benefit for us, and taste, meaning it seems that there'll be maybe potentially medicinal benefits, and it'll taste good. Zulat elu amfursamim etzlenu, other than the ones we know today. It's not impossible. Ela karov ha'efsharut afilu lo zecharat wa Torah. Even if the Torah would not mention it. V'kol sheken shekvar itparziz about Torah b'tparset. That it's mentioned in the Torah, the idea of Gan and Eden. V'ulam Gehinnam. Rambam now discusses his idea of what Gehinnam is. Hareu Shem letzar sheyasig et reshaim. This is a name for the pain that will be brought to the Reshaim. Lo nitbarer b'Talmud to'ar ze asar. The Talmud has not described its pain. Ela k'sata umim shem shemesh tikrav eleim tisrafim. Some say the sun will be so powerful it will burn them. Ve'aviu ra'aya mi'omro ki ne hayom ba bo'er katanur. They will come burning like a oven. Uksatam omrim shehom muzar yithadesh b'kotev misrafim. An internal heat that will burn them. Ve'aviu ra'aya mi'omro ruchacham esh tochalchem. Rambam clearly seems to just be bringing some ideas in a physicality of Gehinnam, but he doesn't seem to be arriving at a conclusion or really dealing with it in any complete manner. Uthayat hametim, yesod miyesodot Torat Moshe. Tahayat hametim, as we will learn, is one of the yesodot of Torat Moshe. In dat velo dvekut b'dat hayudu shelo yamin ze. There is no religion or connection to the Jewish religion with someone who doesn't believe in it. Hila tzadikim. It is for the tzadikim. Ulashon bereshit rabbah, gvurat geshamim letzadikim v'lershaim, uthayat hametim letzadikim bilvad. Right? The Midrash is telling us why we actually, the comparison of tahayat hametim and Mashiv Haruach. So Gvurat Geshamim, right? Letzadikim v'lershaim. The benefits of rain are for the Rishaim and the Tzadikim. All the world benefits. But Tahayat HaMetim is purely for the Tzadikim. Ve'ech yechyu HaRishaim ve'metim afilu b'chayehem. How will people, how will metim be brought back to life when they die, even when they're alive? The evil, even when they're alive, are called metim, and tzadikim, even when they're dead, they're called hayim. Person automatically dies and is decomposed. Now, I'd like to mention something about this piece because it is clear from Harambam that he understands and believes in Tahiyat HaMetim in its simplest form, the bodily resurrection of the dead. Harambam was accused of not believing in Tahiyat HaMetim, and he had to write an entire work proving that he believed in it. When he wrote that work, most of the people who in the beginning accused him of that lack of belief, most of his accusers, dropped the argument. This is one of the controversies that Rambam dealt with in his own life, and where his detractors accepted his point that he believed in it. Unfortunately, sometimes we hear today of scholars in the world who seem not to believe Harambam's own writing and what he said about himself. They think that Harambam was just writing it to deceive people, and hidden into which he showed a lack of belief. And they even point to a line that's mentioned here, right? He says, how will the evil come back when they're called dead even in this world, and the tzaddikim are called alive even with their death. And they say, oh, see, he's really allegorizing the whole concept of Hayat HaMetim. Nothing could be further from the truth in Harambam's writings. He made it as one of the Ikareh Emunah. He wrote an entire work defending the belief. And it is important for us to take Harambam at his own word, because if we start trying to guess what Harambam meant when what Harambam wrote, and he didn't really mean it, then we get into the slippery slope of literally making ourselves the judges of what Harambam believed without having to actually deal with the written word. And when we do that, there's no limit. We can now create a mythical belief system and call it Rambam, because we're no longer forced to conform to the written word of Harambam's own pen. And usually what happens is then that we just create the Rambam the way we would like him to be. Rather, we need to really limit ourselves and actually force ourselves to deal with the written word of Harambam, and not put ourselves in terms of the positions of judges to say, oh, Harambam wrote this, he meant it. Harambam wrote this, he didn't mean it, or he was just writing it for the masses of people, and he himself, and trying to find other allusions and other works which would prove that he didn't really mean what he wrote. I think we owe it to one of the greatest authors in Jewish history to deal with every single word that he wrote, take it seriously, and if there are contradictions, we do the best we can to actually resolve them. And if at some point we're left with inability to resolve questions, so we'll just assume that we're unable to resolve them, but rather to put ourselves in the seat of judges as to what Harambam was really meant and what he was just writing as Has v'Shalom, a lie or a political expedient manner. So let us be very diligent in understanding the written word of Harambam.